Hey everybody, welcome back to Principles of Marketing. In our video right now, we're going to be taking a look at some of the different challenges that a business might face as they enter into the electronic realm and they make that transition from just a physical bricks and mortar location to a e-business. They can do both. I'm not saying that it has to be exclusively one or the other, but we're looking at some of the challenges that a business faces when they go online. And this is the second video we've done talking about e-business. I did a video, hopefully you caught that one, about the benefits of an e-business, why companies are in such a hurry to get on the internet and do business over the internet. In our next video after this one, we'll take a real brief look at what makes an e-business successful. And we'll use the example of Amazon and show you a few things that they're doing that really kind of set them apart from other e-businesses. So here we go. Challenges of e-business. A lot of the challenges of e-business kind of revolve around the idea of safety. When you conduct business over the internet, you're dealing with a lot of people's personal information, their home address, email address, phone number, social security number sometimes, and most of the time their credit card information or their debit card information. Very important that you keep that information safe. And we've seen a lot of instances in the news where companies aren't keeping that information safe. In fact, the USA Today reported a few weeks ago that 2019 is on track to be the worst year ever for data breaches. Yahoo's been a victim, Equifax, Target. A lot of companies have fallen prey to hackers who have gotten into their systems and gotten the data out on the customers. And that's a bad thing. And companies do what they can. They try to encrypt the data, which is basically a fancy computer word for codifying the data so other people can't read it. But hackers are still able to infiltrate these systems and get that data. 2019, worst year ever. I would be willing to make you a bet. I mean, if you want to bet me a Taco Bell meal, I'll bet you 2020 is going to be even worse than 2019. It's just a problem that isn't going away anytime soon, and companies need to be in front of it and do what they can to try to keep their customers' data safe. When they don't do that, it costs a lot of money to fix that problem. And it's not just credit card records, sometimes even the accounts themselves. I had a situation over the summer with my Netflix account. If you want a crazy story about keeping customers' accounts secure, here we go. June 19th, over the summer, I wake up at about 10:30 a.m., I check my email, and had this series of emails from Netflix. I'll walk you through them. Here we are, 9:25 a.m., look at my email from Netflix. It has a sign-in from Lithuania. Okay, well, may not match your exact location. Yeah, it definitely doesn't because I'm not in Lithuania. I get an email about an hour later. We noticed a new sign-in, this time from Venezuela. May not match your exact location. So within an hour, I get an email that my Netflix has been accessed from Lithuania and Venezuela. And again, I didn't check my email that morning until like 10:30. So get another email 1 minute after that that says my password has been updated. I didn't ask them to update my password. Get an email another minute, actually the same minute right there, that my plan has been updated. I'm on the basic Netflix plan. Whoever had stolen my account, if you're going to steal somebody's account, you might as well go with the Cadillac of Netflix plan. So they upgraded to a $15.99 a month plan. Might as well. I'm paying for it, right? Not even a minute later, I get another email from Netflix that says my email account that had been linked to my Netflix account has been changed. So just to kind of rehash here, within the span of an hour, someone had gotten my Netflix account, changed the password, switched into a higher plan, and then changed the email account associated with the plan. So as of 9/27 on June 19th, I couldn't even get into my Netflix account because they don't even recognize my email as being my email anymore. So nothing I can really do at this point except reach out to Netflix and say, hey, someone's hacked into my account. Can you lock them out and get me back in? So I did that. Now, here's the interesting chat that took place between me and the Netflix customer service representative. I've got it there on the right. I flat out asked him, I said, is this a common thing? Netflix is a billion-dollar company. They have all kinds of technology. It seems like they'd be able to stop this from happening. And what I wanted to know is why didn't they have two-factor identification or two-factor authentication? Now, what that means, if you're not familiar, when I sign into my bank account on the computer, it will tell me to basically look at my phone because they're going to send a code to my phone to enter in to make sure that it's me. There's two factors involved there. There's the access password to the computer, and then they send me a code just to make sure my account hasn't been hacked. Very secure. And I flat out said, why doesn't Netflix have something like this? Especially when people are accessing my account and they're accessing it from a foreign country where I'm guessing a lot of the fraud is taking place here. So basically, they spun it back to me. The Netflix representative, as you can see, says, well, they can be compromised through password reuse if you're using your Netflix password on a bunch of different websites and it gets stolen from somebody else, they might come and steal your Netflix account. I have a unique password for every single website I visit, an account that I have. So it wasn't that, but that's kind of what she played it off as. And I kind of like the thing down here at the end. I say, thank you for your assistance. Everything's said here. To make sure it doesn't happen again, here's some information that you can use to make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do. So Netflix basically washed their hands of any responsibility here. They really put the onus back on to the user to make sure that they're doing what they can to keep their data safe. Okay, I get that. As a customer, as a consumer, we should have unique passwords. Only use the password for one website and not a whole bunch of different ones. We should have strong passwords that are hard to hack. Not just your birthday or maybe your first name with a number behind it, but, a random mix of letters, numbers, and characters. And we should update those passwords frequently. We should monitor our accounts. We should be doing all of those things. But the reality is businesses still have some responsibility here to make sure that my credit card number is safe, to make sure that my account is safe, and to reduce the hassle of what happens when a hacker might get a hold of it. Another thing your book talks about is this idea of channel conflicts. When a business dips its toe into the e-commerce waters, they may upset some people. And then you look at Nike here. I can go to Nike.com and I can buy shoes now, which is great for me as a customer. But what does that do to Nike's retail partners? What does that do to Foot Locker? What does that do to the Athlete's Foot or Dick's Sporting Goods? When I don't have to go into those locations to physically buy a pair of Nike shoes, I can get them straight from Nike in any color that I want, any style that I want, any size I want. I get free shipping. If they don't fit, I can send them back within 30 days and get my money back. There's no risk at me for sitting at home and doing business directly with Nike.com. So that's a challenge. How does Nike handle that relationship with their very important retail partners now that they're selling direct to the customer? So some of the things that Nike does is they try to give stores exclusives. Maybe Foot Locker gets an exclusive pair, limited release Jordans that other people aren't getting. And they try to do things like that to keep the retailers happy. But it's definitely an issue. A couple other things that you'll want to look at in your book that your book talks about as far as challenges that an e-business faces. Just outright fraud. Phishing emails are really big now, where fraudsters will try to send a customer an email that looks like an authentic communication from Amazon, from the IRS, any organization, to try to get them to give away their personal information. Usually they try to bait that hook with fear. Your account's going to be closed, or you owe money. Get in here and update your account. And of course, if you do that and you click their link and go through to their site, they're going to get your personal information. So fraud and phishing is another big problem that e-businesses are facing right now. Another one is this idea of privacy. Facebook has really been hammered in the past year for being lax on privacy. You give your information to Facebook, you don't know who they're selling it to. You don't know how they're tracking you on your computer. And that can really be an issue for a lot of consumers. We'll talk on our discussion board about Target and how they got into some hot water with a customer by sending a teenage girl advertisements and coupons for pregnancy items. Things like baby shampoo and diapers and all of that. And the dad got involved and said, why are you sending this to my daughter? And we'll tell you how that story ends on the discussion board this week. But right now, before we wrap this video up, I just want you to think about how come some businesses like Procter & Gamble don't sell directly to the customer? Now, if you're not familiar with Procter & Gamble, they make things like Tide detergent, Pantene shampoo. They make Gillette razors and deodorant and Crest toothpaste. They have a whole lot of different brands they have going on. I can't order any of those directly from ProcterandGamble.com or PG.com. I have to go to Walmart and Target and run around the store collecting them like trinkets in a video game. And I have to do that every couple of weeks. It would be so easy for them to say, hey, get on our website and let's start a subscription. Every month we'll send you some deodorant and shampoo, whatever you need, and we'll just do business directly with one another. Why don't they do that? Think about that. Why do some businesses refrain from selling directly to the consumer over the internet if it's so good and such an easy process? And maybe we'll talk about that in the discussion board or in class later on. But it's something to think about. Maybe dig around, do some research, and try to find out. In the meantime, we'll come back in the next video and we'll talk a little bit about the bigamazon.com and the things that Amazon is doing well and that makes them a successful e-business. And we'll see you there.